Welcome everybody to the Joe Morley Sports Show. I am Joe Morley. This is a new segment that I'm throwing out there now because of the football season is here. It's time for football. So the NFL season breaks down this Thursday night, first game of the season. So this is a new segment, like I said, that I'm going to throw out there. I'm going to try to do Thursday night games on Wednesday, break that down for you. And then on Saturday, I'll try to break down all the Sunday and Monday games. So make sure you go and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of my NFL breakdowns for the games. Today, I will be breaking down the first game of the season, the Thursday night game matchup, the Houston Texans versus the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Right? Aren't you good? You should be excited, right? First game of football. We haven't had preseason. We haven't had any of that. So now it's time. They're on the field versus another team. Both of these teams made headlines this offseason by signing both their young quarterbacks to big contracts. The Texans, they made big news, right? They made big news when they sent their star wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, to Arizona. He's gone. He's no longer in Texas. He's gone. And there was a lot of people that wanted Texans coach Bill O'Brien's job. They wanted him fired, right? This offseason, I was very down on the Texans offense. The more I look at it, the more I start to like it. The more I start to see what Bill O'Brien was envisioning, right? Of course, they all have to stay 100% healthy. And that's the thing about all the players that he brought in, is they don't have a good track record of staying healthy. So that's the only bad thing about it. Which, if you already look, Brandon Cooks is already hurt, right? He's already might miss this game. So let's break it down a little bit. Let's go into this game a little bit. Last season, the Texans and the Chiefs met up in Week 6, right? They met up in Week 6 in Kansas City. Good game. Great game if you were watching it, right? Texans ended up beating the Chiefs 31-24. Texans won that game, which was a shocker to a lot of people. Then, of course, they played again in the playoffs. And in that game, the Texans jumped up big, 24-0. They were up 24-0 with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. So 20 minutes into the game, you're up 24-0 on the Chiefs. Well, we all know how that turned out. It didn't turn out well, right? The Chiefs came roaring back, and the Chiefs beat them 51-31. So that's in the back of the Texans' mind right now. That, hey, we had a 24-point lead, and we still lost to this team. Still lost to this team, right? Well, it's a new season. 2020's here. The NFL, let's just call it the NFL COVID season, right? The NFL COVID season is now here. There was no preseason. This will be the first time that other teams see each other, that they hit other players instead of their teammates. Kansas City, in this game, there will be fans in the stands. In most games there won't be, but in this one, in Kansas City, there's 20% of the capacity that will be there. So there will be a little bit of fans. So it might be the first time that these teams play in front of fans this year too. Kansas City is favored by 9 points in this matchup. 9 points in this matchup with an over-under of 54.5. One thing to keep in mind is Andy Reid is 6-1 in the home openers, and they've won his last 5 home openers. So that's going good for Kansas City, right? I think this is going to be an interesting matchup, and if you want to talk fantasy-wise, here's the guys that I like in fantasy this week. I like the whole Kansas City offense. How about that? The whole Kansas City offense. The Texans secondary doesn't scare anybody, and they should get burnt just like they did last year. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman, Tyreek Hill should all have pretty good games. The only question mark that I have about the Kansas City offense, and that's just me, is Clyde Edwards-Helarie. I want to see how much they use them in both the running game and the passing game. All indications show that he's going to be heavily involved in the offense, which is a good thing, but he is a rookie. I have him in a couple fantasy leagues, and I am starting him. I would expect you to start him, but just know that he is a rookie in week 1 without a lot of reps against other teams, and that's all I want to see. I mean, he could break out and have a great game, just like Kareem Hunt did a couple years ago. So that's what we're looking for, and that's what we're hoping for. But we could also see him have rookie struggles. So that's the only question mark I have with the Kansas City Chiefs offense. Everybody else, I think, is going off. And this is week 1. You play your studs. Play the guys that you drafted, that you know. Don't play those potential guys. Play the guys that you know are going to get you points. They might not get it for you, but that's where you start in week 1. For the Texans, my fantasy guys on the Texans, DeShaun Watson. If you drafted DeShaun Watson, you drafted him to start him. So start him. Get him in there. He had great games against the Chiefs last year. He put up great numbers, so he's going to do it again. The Chiefs defense I think they played above their talent last year, and they haven't made improvements this year. And if anything, the Chiefs defense got worse in the offseason. I wouldn't play Brandon Cooks if he's available. As of right now, he's not. But if he is available, I would caution my expectations on him just because of his injury. Will Fuller will probably be the only wide receiver that I actually do start. He's a hit and miss kind of wide receiver, but when he's 100%, which right now he should be after his offseason surgery on his groin, he should be, and Watson loves to look his way. Another sneaky pick that I could see maybe being something big is Randall Cobb, but I'm going to say that he gets under 70 yards still, but I see Randall Cobb being a part of that offense. Now, running back David Johnson is the guy. I have the same questions about him like I did CEH. I'm interested to see how the Texans use him. Bill O'Brien knows that he didn't get the 2016 version of David Johnson. He's just hoping that he gets like 80% of that David Johnson, of that 2016 version, right? And a healthy David Johnson, because that's going to help out. So I think they're going to design the plays where Johnson isn't taking those big hits. He's not getting hit every time. He's not having that heavy load. And David Johnson should be involved in the passing game. They also have Duke Johnson there, but they like to use Duke Johnson out of the backfield. But it's week 1. I'm going to start David Johnson. I'm going to tell you to start David Johnson, but I'm a little hesitant. I hope he breaks out, and I hope he's the David Johnson that we all remember. But I'm not buying it as of right now. Maybe I'll eat those words on Friday, and people will come back and be like, "Well, David Johnson had a big game, and you said you weren't going to believe in him." I'm saying start David Johnson. Just if he's the David Johnson from the Arizona days like last year, sorry. But if he breaks out, better for us, right? Because a good David Johnson is always great to watch. A healthy David Johnson is exciting, and he could do a lot of things and help that Texas offense. So it's week 1. I've already said it's week 1. Anything can happen in week 1. So please remember this is my advice to you. Do not buy into the hype of week 1, fantasy or reality. Some teams come out and blow other teams out in week 1, and then they end up, still going 4-12. Some guys come out like Sammy Watkins last year, scored 3 touchdowns in the first game. Then he became the number 3 wide receiver. And a lot of people wasted waiver wires. Be cautious of week 1. Week 1 can show you a few things, and it can also show you some bad things. So just be cautious and don't be jumping on players right away just because of what they did in week 1. Here's my prediction for the game. It might shock you, right? This might shock you because here's my prediction. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs. Shocker, right? Yeah, I shocked you. I think there's going to be a good amount of points put on the board. So I'm going to take the over the 54.5. I'll take that. And I think Kansas City will cover the spread and win by more than 9. The final score prediction. I hate doing score predictions. I'll tell you that. I hate throwing the score out there. I'm good at, I can say who's winning and stuff. I like saying who's winning, but scores kind of get on me. I'm going to go Kansas City 34, Houston 24. That's 10 points. It covers the spread. Should cover the over. So yeah, I'll go 34-24 Kansas City. How about that? I hope you guys like this breakdown. Hopefully you tune in on Saturday for the rest of the week 1 breakdown of the schedule. Once again, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Leave your predictions on the comments. So if you guys have a different prediction or something that I missed in this game, tell me in the comments so everybody else can read it. Everybody else knows who to start in fantasy. And we'll have good conversations back and forth on there. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about this Houston Kansas City matchup. Week 1, first game of the football season. We should be healthy, right? Also, I'm Joe Morley. You can go see more of me daily on my Facebook or my Instagram, and make sure to follow me on Twitter. Bookmark JoeMorleySports.com for all the links to everywhere that you need to know about me. Also, my podcast is available on any of your favorite podcast listening apps. So go do that. I do that all the time. But my main thing is breaking the schedule down, giving you some my fantasy advice. I'm not a fantasy expert, but I will throw my advice out there. Also, I'm not responsible if you go out there and use it on FanDuel and you don't win money. I'm not going to reimburse you. I'm not here to do that. You take my advice the way that you want to, and If you bet money on it and you lose, I apologize in advance, but it's on you. It's eventually on you. So don't come at me crying if something happens, because not everybody's 100%. I could just give you advice and give you my opinion of what people are going to do. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys on Saturday and give you more of the breakdown, because I will break down the whole schedule, everything on Saturday or for Sunday and Monday night. So make sure you guys tune in. Like I said, hit that like button below and leave your comments of what you think of this Texans Kansas City matchup. And if you agree with me that Kansas City will cover the spread, the point spread, the over under, it's up to you. You guys let me know. I'm Joe Morley, and I'm out of here. Thank you.